Hey there, everyone. I'm Matt Gilbert, an 8th grade social studies teacher, and today I'm going to be talking about toilet paper, hand sanitizer, and face masks. Well, kind of. More specifically, I'm going to be walking us through an instructional approach called essential question inquiry. Now, what's the connection between these three objects and that instructional approach? Stay with me to find out. There are 4 key steps to using the essential questions instructional strategy in your classroom. The first step is determining the basic learning expectation for your content. For example, let's look at our 3 objects again. We've got the toilet paper, the hand sanitizer, and the face mask. Let's say that the curriculum calls for students to understand the role that each of those objects took on during the coronavirus pandemic. So that's the basic learning expectation that I need to make sure students are able to accomplish. The great thing, however, about essential questions is that it allows for students to achieve that goal while also digging a little bit deeper and engaging in higher order thinking. Let's move on to step 2. So step 2, keeping in mind what that baseline expectation for learning is, I'm now going to create an open-ended essential question, which again allows for them to achieve the baseline understanding while also digging deeper. Some common question cues you can use could be to rank or determine what's the best of something or the worst of something, what's truly or the most. For this inquiry, we're going to use the following example. Now, before we get started, I want to mention I always like to use a little hook to really get the students motivated that they are trying to accomplish a very important task for us. So the hook today is that a new museum exhibit is being created about the coronavirus pandemic. All right, so here's the essential question. Which of the 3 objects, the hand sanitizer, the face mask, or the toilet paper, should be added to the exhibit first? Now notice I have first underlined. It's underlined because you want the students to understand that they really want to think about the way that they would order the objects in the exhibit, with the one that's first, in their view, being the most significant or having more important of a role or more important of an impact during the pandemic than the other 2. But also notice first is underlined because it is the open-ended part. Not all of the students have to agree which object should be first in the exhibit. What's right or wrong is, do they know the role the object played during the pandemic, but not if it should be first. All right, so let's move on to step 3. Once I have decided what my question is going to be, I need to develop activities that will allow students to gain that baseline understanding or basic expectation for learning, while also engaging with the essential question or that deeper, higher order thinking. You want to think about what formative activities you're going to have, also what summative activities. The great thing is this really allows for a lot of differentiation and scaffolding as needed. For example, maybe I have one group doing research on the different objects by looking on the internet. Another group is going through primary sources, while a third group is looking through the textbook. Now, it's really important after students have had a chance to research on the objects, you come together. And I like to use a chart similar to this for that phase. One side, I have all the objects, so these are the things that they need to know about based on the curriculum requirements. On this side, we're going to go over what they found. This is where the teacher serves as a facilitator, making sure that the students actually did find correct information about the role that each object played during the pandemic. And as the teacher, you can fill in any gaps or clear up any misconceptions as you go through. So by the end, the students will definitely meet the baseline goal of knowing what role did each object play, but also the deeper essential question goal of being able to decide which one they think should be put in the exhibit first. It's always fun as well to have, once they've decided on which should be first, to take a little vote. Now, it's really important you give them the chance to do this privately. So I have them put their head down and close their eyes to vote. They raise their hands, I count it up, and then we create a little tally. They love seeing what all the classes ended up deciding. Now, I don't share that till the next day, though, because I don't want to sway any votes. I always put this on the back bulletin board in our classroom, too, so throughout the year, they can look back on all the essential questions that we have looked at and what the votes were. So it's really fun, especially at the end of the year, to review everything that we have explored. When it comes to the summative assignment, again, you can create a variety of summative assignments that require students to show you that they actually know the significance of each of the objects. This could take on the traditional test format as well, where again they would be asked what role or what significance toilet paper played during the pandemic, hand sanitizer, and the face mask. So you are holding them accountable for that baseline learning, but again, they've also engaged throughout this inquiry process in decision making and higher order thinking. All right, step 4 is really important. So you've worked hard to develop this lesson, and before you are ready to implement it, you want to prepare the students. It's very likely that they're going to ask, is there a right answer? And so it's important you prepare them in this way. Let them know that, yes, there's a right answer in your reasoning. So are you providing me true or correct information about the role that toilet paper played? But there's not a right answer in terms of which object you choose to be first in the exhibit. That's where you really get to provide a deeper level of thinking and argument skills and show me that you have taken it to another level. So it's both, again, correct, but also not a correct answer. So really setting them up from the beginning with that understanding helps motivate them. It also helps ease them during the actual activity. So now you're set and ready to begin your first essential question inquiry activity. You know why I showed you those 3 objects at the beginning as well. Please do not hesitate to reach out to me with any questions that you may have. If you'd like for me to look through your curriculum and develop an essential question with you, I have also included the title to the book that I used to help learn about the essential question process. Thank you for tuning in and enjoy the rest of your summer.